Good morning, good morning, good morning. You know who it is, the Cat the Hatch, resident fly guy, your chief architect, Michelangelo of StarArchitects.com, here to help you redesign your frame of mind when it comes to this lifestyling thing. And today's Monday, yo. I hope that you are starting out this week in style. But if you aren't, if you're having some difficulties or you're this is what happens when you go live. If you're having some difficulties with your image, or you're finding yourself just a bit confused every time you step into your closet, that is exactly why I'm here to ensure that you are showing up in style and leaving a lasting impression with your look. Now, today we're going to be talking about why you don't need a big wardrobe. You just need a more versatile one. And this is going to fall right in line with the upcoming dates that you may be having on Valentine's Day. Now, before we get started, if this is your first time here, welcome. You get to see the mess up, right? That we can't edit out because this is live. But if you find the information beneficial, then by all means, please consider subscribing. If you don't know, I believe that every man has a story, and that story soon becomes history or his story, and it all begins with your statement and style. So if you find the information beneficial, please go ahead and consider subscribing. I would love to be a character in your style story. If you have already subscribed, you know that I appreciate you. Now, all you need to do is hit that notification bell, and that way you'll be notified each and every time new content is coming out, and also you'll be notified each and every time that I am going live. So, with that being said, again, today we're going to be talking about the versatility of a wardrobe and why it's important. And this week we'll be covering some different elements of versatility and how you can begin to create a more versatile wardrobe. Now, here's a misconception that a lot of guys have. They think that because they have a wider array of options when it comes to their personal wardrobe, that thing gives them a lot of different versatile looks. And while that's true, it doesn't create any cohesive types of units. And the reason why that becomes problematic is because when you're trying to put things together, you start realizing that you don't really have a lot of versatility. You just have a lot of options. And when you have a lot of options, if you've been rocking with me, then you know that studies show that you're actually going to have a much more difficult time um, getting your wardrobe together, because or not even just your wardrobe, but just making a choice, because you have so many options. So you end up not really making any beneficial or intentional ones. You just kind of go with whatever is out there. And studies actually show that you'll probably end up going for the same familiar things that you already have recognition with. So why not scale down and just make your wardrobe more cohesive so that you have more versatility? So that's the main reason why you don't want a huge wardrobe that doesn't all work together. Now, I'm not saying that you can't build your wardrobe out eventually, but don't start trying to do that immediately, because it's just not beneficial to you. So again, you always know that we deal with the mind, how you construct and curate your wardrobe, and then ultimately what that communicates. So when you are wearing, or when you have a more cohesive and versatile wardrobe, what does that do for your thinking? What does that do for how you are getting ready in the morning? Well, when you have a cohesive and versatile wardrobe, that actually makes it much easier for you to think about your day. Yesterday, I met with a client, and we were talking about some of his wardrobe, and I said, how great would it be for you to have a great jacket, maybe a very light down vest, and then a dress shirt, a pair of jeans, and some boots or some sneakers, because he likes sneakers, some well-dressed sneakers, and he has to go from work to a date. All he would need to do is take off that jacket, leave on the vest, or take off the vest, leave on the jacket. And depending on the type of date that he was going on, he's already set and ready to go. And it didn't require him going home to change, or him having to stress himself out about making sure that he was putting his best foot forward, because the best foot would actually be the authentic one that he was putting out. When you're talking about constructing your wardrobe, what this does is it actually makes you much more strategic and you picking out your clothing when you're out shopping. So that makes it much easier when you're purchasing something, because the first question that you're going to ask is this going to go with everything else that I have in my wardrobe? If it doesn't, then I would always advise that you dismiss that and don't get it. But if it does, then the second question is what could I then wear this for? Could I wear it for work? Could I wear it for socializing? Could I wear it for a romantic engagement? And if all three of those boxes can be checked, then it may be something that you really want to make a purchase on. That way you're not really worried about the cost, because you know that the cost per wear is going to be a great balance there. You're not going to be worried about the frequency of you wearing it, which is also going to adhere to the cost per wear, because you'll know that it can go with several different types of things. And so it is a great addition to your wardrobe. Now, just for a second, think about if you were able to move in that thought process. If you were able to say, okay, for each piece that I have in my wardrobe, I actually thought these things out. When you actually curate your wardrobe and you start looking at how all these things work together in different ways, think about how much more money, more time, and more energy you're going to be saving when you need to make different moves throughout the day. Like, it start to see how beneficial that can be. Now, lastly, when it comes to the statements that you're making with your style, I've always talked about how cohesiveness always correlates with your communication. So if you have a very cohesive type of look and you're always communicating those things consistently, then what you'll find is that people want to deal with that. People want to experience that more because it keeps on showing up and it's something that they can familiarize themselves with. Again, no different than me having my hat on all the time, that people become associated with me. Just a quick story. Yesterday, I was over in an area here in Atlanta called Pond City Market. I was walking through and somebody saw me and they was like, hey, what are you doing? We rapped real quick. And as I was leaving, I got a text from a friend who was like, yo, were you just in Pond City? And I was like, yeah. Like, how did you how did you know? And she was like, oh, I saw you, from the store that she was working at. And my homegirl, who I was talking to at the time, was like, yeah, you have a very distinguishable look, so I can find you in these different types of spaces. And I made mention of that before, that as you create and cultivate your own personal type of look, it starts to speak for you. It starts to create a calling card, like the bat signal, a little bit, that people can begin to associate you with, so they know you even when you're trying to be incognito. So if you are trying to be incognito, you're definitely gonna have to switch your style up, maybe have your hoodie on or something. But for the most part, you want to be seen, you want to be recognized, so you don't have to be big in order to do that. Sometimes it's better to scale down and create more versatility with a focalized intent. So I want you to try that on, see how it fits you. If you found the information beneficial, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. You know that it helps the channel to grow. Share this with a friend. There's probably somebody out here who's thinking that they have to go out and buy all of these clothes, and they aren't paying attention to the fact that versatility actually could be giving them a lot of cohesiveness. All right, let me rephrase that. Let's go back. That cohesiveness actually could be creating a lot of versatility. How about that? That sounds a lot better. So if they are struggling with that, make sure that you share this with them. Please make sure again that you subscribe if you're feeling the vibe. Make sure that you check us out here every Monday through Friday at 10:30 a.m. where you will be able to interact with me live if you're watching this recording. And we will be back in production. I know I said a week. It's taking a little while to get my place together. So we should be back hopefully next week. But until then, you know that you'll have me here live. And then after that, you'll start getting these twice a day, 3 times a week. All right? So outside of that, be great. But then again, you know that you already are, right? So now all you have to do is show up and show out in style. If you need any help with that, then don't hesitate to give me a call. I would say a call, but you're not gonna call me. To send me an email at info@stylearchitects.com, and I'll be more than happy to go over that with you. Oh, I forgot the question of the day. Question of the day: what is your most versatile wardrobe piece that you have? For me, it tends to be my field jacket. I've noticed for the last 2 or 3 weeks in the fall, it's been my field jacket. I've been going to that quite a bit. So what is your most versatile item in your wardrobe? Leave me some of those comments in the comment box. And until then, don't ever forget that dress is nothing more than the expression of a man's state of mind. So you, yes you, should always dress to express. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.